All right, welcome to our next build video. Today I'm working on an extra intermodal 48-foot Stoughton. I've never built one of these before, and I've gone and done all my research as to, I've looked at pictures as to what needs to be done as far as paint details go. All right. Like I said, I've not done one of these, so that's really great. This is an old one, so I'm going to have to... If you get one of these and it has this, you got a couple of options. You can either use a heat gun, or you might be able just to work it and not try to break it. We'll see. I may have to wind up using a heat gun and just molding it back. It's getting there. So take your time with this. Try not to break it. If you break it, you can just glue it back. I've done that before. You gotta just kind of work your way all the way down it. That's pretty close. Probably once I put the weight in this. These are sharp under here. Okay, now it's a little wobbly going one way or the other, so now I'm going to just twist it. Do a rebend. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so that should be, let me test it on the tabletop. That's pretty flat. Okay, so that should be fine. All right, so what you I found some really good pictures of the tops of this, so I could confirm what I needed to confirm on that, which is let's see here. Okay, so the top is silver. This plate right here that comes down is silver all the way around, right here. This whole top plate. This bottom sill plate is silver on both sides. On the back, this area here is silver. The arms, all of this is silver along with this right here. So the first step in this, because I want this dried pretty fast, is I'm going to mask off this top as best I can. I want to look at them through the magnifying glass right here real quick, see if I've got a ridge line. It's very minor. Right here, there's a little tiny ridge, so I'm going to want to get the masking tape underneath that so that I can stop any bleed that comes down this way. And I'm going to have to really push that masking tape in all the way around. All right, so that'll be the first step. I always tear off the first piece. All right. Okay. All right, really got to rub that down on there hard. Try to get it so there'd be no bleed whatsoever. And I'm just going to wrap it around the ends. I'll mask that. I'll mask this area right there separately. So I'll just do the same thing. On the other side. Now I'm just going to make sure with my fingernail that I'm underneath that ridge line. Okay. If you pick up on that hum in the background, there's a city truck in the neighborhood right now taking down a big, beautiful tree on the corner of one of our streets right they're crossing. It's a shame to see it go. It's been there, oh, hundreds of years probably, or at least 100 years. Huge tree. Okay, I'm going to get that in there as best I can. Same here. This morning was yard work morning, so I didn't get a start on this stuff until much later today than I normally do. While I was out there, I kind of looked over and saw what they were doing, and yeah, they're taking down a big, beautiful tree. It looked healthy, so I don't know what the deal is. All right, that's good. So now, all right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to get one piece nice and straight. I'm going to, actually, instead of trying to mask that part, I think I'm just going to do that by hand later. So for right now, I'm just going to I'm going to put this on the end. I'll show you. If there's a little bleed with this, it's okay because this area is going to get painted by hand with the silver anyway. All right, so now we're going to just trim that. Okay, you can see that's masked. That's masked. All right, so now I'm just going to I don't want any paint down inside, so I'll just finish this up. All right. All right, that's ready. So I'm going to put this on pause or stop, and then I'll restart once I've got this painted. I'll be back in. All right, I'm back. I got 2 coats put on the top of the trailer. It's drying right here next to me on the floor. So while I'm waiting on that to dry, I went ahead and I reviewed the instructions as to what goes where here and both sides, and I cut everything off the sprues so that and filed it all. It's all ready to go now completely. So just a quick show you here on something. This right here, this was a Santa Fe container trailer, and you can really see the rusting I did on the top of that. So I haven't decided if I'm going to go that far with this one or not, but we'll get there. So next step, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's still nice and straight. Yep, it looks pretty good. A few little spots right there. All right. So these go there, like that with the, you can see these little dots face outwards. Make sure you have that all set up right. Okay. Pretty good. Take a look here. Yeah, that's all right. All right, so I use this. Oops, there. I use this. This is fantastic stuff. All right. We're just gonna remove that out. And I'm just gonna put a small bead right here. Come on, there we go. All right, and we just take this, just like that. This thing will be dry in like 2-3 minutes. It'll still be a little wet from the glue, but it's not going anywhere after this period. Now then, just checking to see how that'll go. That'll be fine on the slide. So, put the other one on. Same thing. Like that. To the outside. Like that. There we go. Okay, so there's the rails that this will travel down. You can see how that goes in and out like that. All right. I'm not going to, I'll make it to where it's loose, where it can move back and forth, so that when I get this, I did forget to mention at the beginning of this, I have, I don't know if you saw the video I had earlier of the spine cars. So this, I'm making a kind of a combo between containers and trailers on all of these spine cars. So that's what this is going to be. One of the pieces for that. All right. So I'll take a look at the instructions here. Always good to look at the instructions. All right, looks like that glues this right here. Glues like that, leaving that little ridge to go inside the, I'm assuming it's that way and it's not this way. You know, this is going to be a judgment call here on this, I think, because it's not going to matter. I'll glue the wheels in place no matter what. It's really hard to see what it says. Okay. So if I put it like this, I don't think that's going to give me enough of a ridge. In fact, that's going to be really tight. And I didn't have much room to begin with. So, yeah, I think judgment call on this. I'm going to glue this to the inside, as long as there's no difference in the height. Nope, there isn't. Okay. I mean, it's going to be like a difference of, I don't know, in scale difference of like 6 inches in real life. Okay, make sure it's straight up and down. Perfect. I mean, I just glued this. this shows how fast this glues. Okay, I mean, this is one of the best glues in the market, if not the best glue in the market as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Okay. So we got that. So we got to make sure when we do this, it matches, and it does. Okay. So again, we're just gonna a little bead of glue. And there we go. But it's already dry on the other side. So no room for error when you get it going. So there's that. All right, so the next thing I got to do is glue these wheels together. You can definitely see you're going to want this. It has these little bits here. You don't want that to be shown, so you're going to want that to the inside. So we're just going to, I'm just double checking here. See, yep, that'll be fine. All right. So we're just going to put a little drop of glue right there around the base. No more than that. Line this up correctly. Yep. And then push it together. So we need to do this 4 times. Now, a thing I've done before is usually these things are built already. I buy them at train shows and somebody's already put them together. So I'm having to deal with working around when I'm doing my paint effects. So the difference here will be I'm going to be able to do everything before it's assembled, which should make this final assemblies, which should make this a lot easier. All right, so there's another one. So we got 2 done. And I'm just putting a bead right around the axle so that I can get to doing my painting, my weathering effects and stuff almost immediately. Okay, there's 3. 1 more to go. Let's see here. Make sure all those are going the right way. Okay, all right, there's the 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Okay, let's go to the inside. So let's see here. I never on my trailers when I do weathering, I never do anything underneath right here. So there's not going to be any weathering underneath this because you're never going to see that anyway. But everything that you would see from the side will get weathered. Come on. Get in there. Okay. Here's that one. Little mess up here. I kind of pushed in on this rod, this support. There we go. Okay. I'll just do a little bit right there. Try not to repeat that. Same thing. Get more down towards the bottom here. There. Okay. There. Good. All right, so then this right here goes to there. All right, so we just put a drop of glue right there, drop of glue right there. All right, let's see here. I need a needle nose. Doesn't look like this matters which way it goes. All right. Okay, so there's that. You can see how good this glue is. Just look at that. I'm done. Nothing. All right, so set that off to the side for a little bit. I need to review my pictures that I have for this. I know the rims are white, so, but there's areas on this. Well, I'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead now, and we're going to stop this, and I'm going to get set up with my paint. I'm back. I have my cup for my white paint. I have cups set up for every type of color I use. That way I'm not having to constantly go and clean cups out. I only do it every so often. So I also have my paper plate with my paint. I'm gonna get some water here, and I'm gonna just get a little thin area like this. And we'll start doing these rims. Okay. That should do it. All right. So, got my magnifier set up here so I can see the edges. I'll show you as I'm going. This is always the hardest part. Just establishing the boundaries. And it doesn't help having nerve damage in the neck. That makes me shake. All right, there's the first one. Still 4 more to go, or 3 more to go. So I'm going to go into fast forward. Okay. That is fine. Any areas, and I'll check them here after a while, any areas that look like they may be over just a little bit into the black, I can just scratch off with the X-Acto blade. So that's done for that. So now I'm going to get my mixed color. What's this one? No, actually I'll go with the black. I did a new fresh black yesterday, so it's not completely darkened up. Okay, so I need elephant gray. Shake it up. All right. You know what I just noticed? They don't have mud flaps. They didn't include mud flaps. So I will probably have to rectify that, which is cutting some styrene, but we'll get to that later. I may do that after I finish the video series on this. The video set. All right, so I need, all right, so I want something, I want a brush, not too wide, nice and flexible. We're gonna do a dry brush. So all I'm doing here is picking up some gray, then I dabbed it off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some weathering on the tread areas. And you just dry brush this. Now, that is a little too dark or too bright for my taste, so I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to put a little water on the brush, and I'm just knocking it down some. Dry the brush. And it's not going to, I mean, it'll be fairly even, but you can have spots. There. You can see how that actually came around the edge a little bit. Now, if you're not happy with that, you want that off of there, just get your brush and wipe it. You can get most of it off. It'll actually be good in the tread area coming around. So I'm probably going to leave most of that in there. I'll just get what's on the outer edge here. There. That looks good. And that gives me the wear on the tires that I want. Oh. There. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. That'll be pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to set these down like this. All right, so do each one the same way. I have a paint I use for rust, 2 colors that I use to get my rust. I never have found a color I like. So playing around for a very long time, trying different combinations, I finally came up with the color I like the best. All right, so I'm going to switch this out for my cup for the rust. Get this brush clean. Get a little, I need to get this really wet. I need to, a couple of these areas that I got to work on, I want this to flow like ink. And other areas I need a little stiffer, so I'll do half of this with water flowing towards an ink consistency, like that. All right. So this is probably ready to go now. It's probably dry enough. So I'm just going to add some rust highlights around the metal areas. I dampen the paintbrush. You can see how nicely, here I get the light over it, how that does. Just gives a hint of stuff. So I get the back side of the other one. Just a few little spots here and there. And then do like that. And then take off like that. It's all right. I'm trying not to touch the wet side is what I'm trying to do. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So same thing as the other side. Do the little heavier areas. Wipe off the brush so it's dry, and pow pow, there you go. Do some of the outlining. Now I come back and I do some highlights. That should be pretty good. Pretty pleased with that. I want to come in here where there's bigger details like this, and where these areas are, and this, and I'm going to do a little more work right in those areas. There, I can see. Just very lightly. Now, we are going to make sure I got some thin inconsistency. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. First, I'm gonna make sure it looks like it's dry. It does. So we're gonna mostly wet. Just a little bit of rust. It's still wet. The white is still just a little wet. That's all right, because it'll make it blend in a little better. Okay, just a little bit of rust in there, like that. Into each of the rims. All right. Let me get that a second, just a little bit more. See if I got another one here. This one's pretty dry. All right. Ooh, got a little bit of there. See that? No biggie. Just gotta get the thing, and let me just dab it out. And if I ever get too much in, you just go right back in with the white. But this actually should be pretty good. Actually, I like how that's looking. Just a swirling motion. There. So you got a little bit of rust in there. So there's two. Yep, it's good. It's dry. Yeah, I want to take some of this back out. Most of the white's just coming through just oops. Forgot to get all the there. So those are all matching pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll just see here. There we go. Just hit a rust in each one. Good enough. All right. This one has, I'll wait on this, this triangle area right here, and this is silver, and the post is black, and the cross piece is silver. I'll wait on doing that until I get the silver set up for doing the side of the trailer itself. This, as you can see, the wear on the tires looks really pretty good. A little bit of rust in there. I'm really pleased with how that's looking. All right, so next step, I'll move this out of the way, is coming up. All right, this had 2 coats put on it. It's pretty dry now. Yeah. All right. Again, this is a silver top, just like this. Don't know if I'm going to do this effect, but I'll see. I may leave this one pretty clean. The ends were the last thing I did except for the bottom. Get rid of that. Along with that. Okay. Time for inspection. That came out great. Happy with that. The line is perfect. There's, you can see here, it is just straight. There's absolutely no bleed into the white whatsoever on each side. Now, had I taken my time and spent 2 hours masking, I could have left this down here. I could have had this masked. I could have just put a strip right across here and then left this, but then I would have really had more of a chance of there being bleed. So I would rather take my chances on just simply painting this by hand. All right, so I'm going to need a silver. So I'm going to go back to this. And I have, this is Americana Gloss Enamels metallic silver. All right, so now I have my metallic silver. I had to go get a clean cup of paint. My generic, this one I do use for a variety of different colors, especially when I'm doing my graffiti. So, I mean, otherwise I'd have like 30 cups lined up. I have a cup basically for my rust, my black, my white, and a blue, I think, that I use a lot. All right, so all I've been doing is adding water to this and thinning it down like I've been doing on all the rest. Okay. It's right here, and I'm just going to dip into it. You don't really need to see anything on this. It's just the same as I've been doing on the rest. All right, get my magnifier, because I see the sill is right here, all the way down. So I'm going to do this as neatly as I possibly can. Okay, yeah, it's going to take 2 coats, but that's getting there. So what I'll do while I'm waiting for that side to dry, if I can get in here. Yeah, because it is inset. So I'm gonna just go ahead and paint the bottom. Whoops! Oh boy! Oh boy! I'll get it here in a sec. It's a great thing about acrylics, though. No biggie. Just gotta take it off. And just use a Kleenex. Yeah. Good. Yep, no big deal. It's off. I mean, the side's going to get weathered a little bit anyway, so it's going, whatever the issue is, it's going to hide it. All right, so back to coat number 2. This side's pretty dry now. That's the other good thing about acrylics. Fast drying. And I bought all my acrylics at either Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or Walmart. Mostly Walmart. At least for all the common colors at Walmart that you know you're going to find available. Reason for that is they're 57 cents a bottle. Okay, I'm pretty content with that. So you can see how that is. It matches the top pretty good. So I'm going to just stop this now, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this. And next time you see it, I'll have the silver all the way around. I don't know if I'm going to how much of the weathering I'm going to show doing, but at the very end, at least I'll show you the entire thing put together. I am going to go ahead and paint these supports right here and leave the posts black, these 2 posts black, but paint everything else silver here too as well. All right, so we'll see you after a while. Okay, it's the next day. So here is everything that's been done. You can see how the bottom sill, top sills have been painted. Same here. Same on this side. Like I said, the top's painted silver, and then, of course, the back details. I painted every hinge, the side metal here, top bumper guard here, painted the areas around the lights, all of this silver, put a little bit of red in there, painted the locking arms and bars. So there we go. So next step is to fade the whole thing down. All right, the fade is now done. It's going to be hard to really see it, but if you look here, get to zoom in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell this light. But anyway, there's some definite light where it's been, it's faded down, it's lightened up. You can see it better pretty much in that A there. Just to give it, just to knock that newness off. So that's it for the white, for the fade down. So next is going to be just a hint of rust in a few spots, and then I'll do some black. All right. Here is the rust on the sides. Again, not much. Mostly just at the ends. This is where I see a lot of rust on. On the videos I watch of these things. Actual rail operations. Flip it around. see just a few little streaks here and there. Just a little bit on the front edges. Okay, so now in comparison to container cars, I would put white up here to do a fade down and to also make it look like salt buildup from sea air. But on trailers, I've watched a lot of videos of them going underneath, and it's I don't see a lot of that. And I know trailers do. I know these do come and get put on those trailer chassis, but this is not a trailer chassis here. Obviously, this is a real, just regular semi-truck bottom. You can see I got some really good. Try to get some close-ups of this with the light. I rusted that up, painted the silver, rusted it all up, rusted up underneath, all of that. The same thing here. Made it dirty and a little bit of rust inside those hubs there. Okay, so anyway, got a little distracted there. So I'm not going to do the white on here. I will put just a hint of rust around the edges with the black, but that'll be the last step. Right now I'm getting ready to go back in and do the black next part, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. I will make sure, I'm going to get that little bumper area. I think I'm going to put a little extra rust down there in the bottom. Alright, so I've done the black now. You can see what that's done. It's added another little layer of depth to the weathering. There's the back end. You can really see how that really did a nice job right around those edges. I've got underneath the hinges, down along the brace, bumper. There's this side. You can just see how that just really made that look nice. Same along the front there. There it is there. And then the very top, very nose of it here. All right, so now what's left is just a slight little bit on the top up here, and then I'm just going to do final assemblies, and this is finished. All right, it's all done. So I've let me get up here and see if I can get this where you can see it. Got the weathering on the top, with a little bit of rust and dirt and stuff around the edges. Okay, got the rest of the weathering done there. I've put 3 full coats of the dull coat on there, so it's all sealed. Handle it no problem. You see the rusted areas, dirty areas. I'm really happy with how the back came out. That really looks good. Hang on a second, I'm going to get a little better grip on it here. Came out looking really nice. The other side. And the other end. All right. So. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed this build. Going to be doing a few more of these, so I'll in a variety of finishes. Some will be a little dirtier, some will be a little cleaner. So I think it came out pretty good, so I'll do the next and let you see how those come out. So thanks for watching. If you've liked this series, please like and subscribe so you can keep up with all these builds that we're doing and see what new stuff we've got coming. Thanks again.